Wait. Before you invest in another course, you need to watch this video. If you're like me, then you definitely love to learn as much as you possibly can in order to better yourself and your business. In this case, a real estate business. However, I do have to admit I have a bad habit of frivolously spending money on different types of courses in order to learn as much as I can. But in the mix of that, sometimes I invest in courses. So it ends up just being a waste of money and a waste of time. And if you guys don't know, the online e-learning space essentially is becoming a lot more in demand. So courses are getting pretty expensive. So now I've learned to do as much research as I possibly can, talk to as many people as I possibly can that have taken the course, or just watch videos just like this one of reviews of each and every course that I'm looking to purchase before I actually pull that trigger. Especially if the course is more on the expensive side. So in this video, I'm hoping to save you guys time, money, and energy before you invest into another course that may or may not give you the return that you're expecting. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a detailed review of Brian Iregbu's Creative Real Estate Investing Academy course. Let's get into it. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lillian Chukwueze, and here on my channel, I drop multiple videos every week about real estate, entrepreneurship, and investing. So if any of those topics interest you, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. And don't forget, follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok. I'm on there. So, like I said, I'm going to give you guys as detailed as a review as possible on Brian Iregbu's Creative Real Estate Investing Academy. And if you guys don't know my story already, I met Brian at Max Maxwell's We Live event back in 2019. My partner and I were in a mastermind, and that's how we met him. And when I tell you guys, this guy could not stop talking about creative financing and seller financing and subject twos, I was thoroughly invested in what he was saying because I was already learning so much from him at that point. So I knew that the second that he dropped the course that I was willing to pretty much invest as soon as possible. So the moment that he did, probably about a year later, we hopped right on it. Probably even less than a year later. And just to give you guys a little bit of background on Brian, so far I know that he was a real estate agent. I don't know what year, but in the past he was a real estate agent. That was his first intro to real estate. He wasn't really doing much with it, so he kind of let that expire, and then he got into real estate investing. He actually started learning creative financing as his first investing strategy before he started learning wholesaling. Brian actually wasn't a fan of wholesaling, and you would know that if you watched his interview on Max Maxwell's show, on Max Maxwell's YouTube channel. You would know that, you know, Brian was like, look at these wholesalers, they don't really, like, they're just all about the cash. And it's true, wholesalers are about the quick cash because it's the fastest way to get cash in real estate. So he was fully invested in pretty much building his portfolio using creative financing, and that's pretty much how he got into actually creating a course about it, because he had a really good mentor and it's been successfully working for him for quite some time now. I think he's been in real estate for, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, at least I think like 7 years, something around that time. And he's mainly been doing creative financing, so that is his lane. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the back end of his academy looks like. So I'm actually going to go in my computer, share with you guys my screen so you can see exactly how it looks from the first module all the way to the last. I'm going to show you guys all the material that's in it, all the information and the content that he shows. I'm going to show you guys all the different resources that he gives us, and, you know, talk about the coaching calls that we have every week. And I'm going to break down, you know, all the different things that Brian talks about. Okay, so this is the inside of Creative Real Estate Investing Academy by Brian Iregbu. As you can see, this is him.
Creative REI Academy. I am so excited to have you guys here and share with you guys my strategies.
Yep, that's Brian Iregbu, guys. One of my favorite mentors. So this is it. This is the first tab. This is the first module. You know, it talks about getting started, all the different creative deal structures. And here he pretty much breaks down, like I told you guys, like he's not a fan. He wasn't a fan at first of wholesaling, but he wholesales very often. And he's made a very good business out of doing that, as well as using his creative financing strategies. So he still advocates heavy for wholesaling. But this whole module is dedicated, well, this video is dedicated to telling you why creative financing beats wholesaling. And it's basically because you have more flexibility and more options. It's literally creative strategies to help the sellers sell their houses. That makes a win-win deal for both of you guys. So wholesaling just fits in one box. If you're not able to basically get the price low enough to where there's some equity in the deal, it won't work. And that's only for 3% of the market. that they're able to sell for a discount. So creative financing does have a lot of ways for you to make it a win-win for both of you guys. So he talks about building your team because typically with creative financing strategies, this transaction is a little more complex than wholesaling versus like a wholesaling contract. This is a one-page simple contract, a couple lines. Contract for this. And the people that you're going to need for it is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more complex. Like you're going to need like an agent, you're going to need like an escrow officer, you're going to need an attorney. You're pretty much just going to have to build relationships as you already are doing. But trust me, it's not that bad. You just got to understand who you need to talk to and just build that team. Then he also talks about understanding leads and everything like that. And then down here, he talks about the different real estate instruments like, deeds and land contracts and things like that. So that's module 1. Module 2 is basically all the different types of creative deal structures. So he'll tell you like the big picture, what the main objective is on all the different types of creative financing, subject to deals, owner finance deals, wraparound mortgages, lease options. And he's actually learned some other strategies that he's been talking to us about. But they're pretty much just a mix of some of these. But essentially, all you need to know is right here is all these different types of strategies. I mean, these are going to be your main strategies, your main creative financing strategies that you're using to acquire properties and even sell them as well. So module 3 just has basically, he talks about analyzing creative deals, how to find a creative deal, how to calculate the profit and the cash flow and figure out your exit strategy. And then he goes over basically how to analyze subject to owner financing, lease options, and just figure out what the best strategy is, because there are a lot of different strategies that he essentially sometimes he uses together, in different ways. So got to be able to definitely identify which acquisition and exit strategy is best for the specific deal. Module 3. I really hope that this comes out clearly. Module 3 talks about talking to sellers and negotiating. So Brian is really, really good at negotiating. He just has a good conversation with people, and he helps them feel comfortable. And by doing so, he builds so much rapport that they just become friends with him and tell him all the issues that they have going on. And once you figure out the motivation of a seller, as if you already wholesale that, once you figure that out, you can kind of, gauge the conversation in a way to figure out, to basically put something together that is going to help them out of their situation. And when it comes to creative financing, there's so many different options that knowing that their particular situation will exactly help you craft a solution to their problem. So this module is very, 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 very important. Then module 5 is just basically finding buyers for creative deals. Brian keeps it really, really simple. His favorite strategy to find a buyer for a creative deal is to simply put a bandit sign in the area. But that's one gem. I can't give out too many. But he talks about finding cash buyers, owner finance, and tenant buyers, and retail buyers. Brian loves finding these retail buyers because, they pay the most. So let's see. And then, of course, talks about closing the deal, purchasing subject to, wrapping it, purchasing with owner finance, purchasing it with a lease option, selling on a wraparound mortgage, and selling on a lease option. So module 6 is all about just closing the deal and, figuring out the best strategy in order to profit. So that's modules 3 to 6, which were, I believe, the most blurry sections of that video. And then, of course, we have the resource vault. So he has all of the contracts you could possibly need for these types of deals. And these are really important because, as I said earlier in the video, wholesale deals are very simple. The paperwork is very simple. It's a one-page contract. Typically, can't really go wrong with that. But when it comes to the more complex deals where you're going to be holding a property for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, it gets a little bit more complex. And there's different documents that kind of go into it. So I really don't have to go over all these different documents, but definitely have to use a memorandum and the affidavit and memorandum. He has this all-purpose contract, assignment forms, authorization of release, lease option contract. I mean, he has a bunch of contracts here. And then he also has his scripts when it comes to marketing. And I really, really love his multiple offer template. This has really helped a lot of people, including myself, out because basically he shows you how to present 3 different offers in within the offer. So his first offer is typically cash. Then his second offer is his next two offers are a short-term creative financing deal and then a long-term creative financing deal. And then typically his last offer, which is technically a fourth offer, is offering to list it, with one of his agents in-house. So one cash offer, two creative financing offers, and then a listing offer. So there's just so much in here. I can't tell you guys everything, but I think you get the gist. And then of course, our weekly coaching calls. As I told you, I'm on the call right now, but I know I had to re-record this part so you guys I could get this uploaded and I could show it to everybody as soon as possible. But again, even so 2021 he updated everything in the course. He has the foundation model, which kind of goes over everything. Obviously the foundation, the big picture, building your team, understanding liens. Then he goes heavy into the marketing. So he goes from A to Z when it comes to marketing, finding where to invest and to wholesale by finding the hot zip codes, pulling the certain list, the most targeted, motivated sellers that you can get, skip tracing, and then he goes over all the different marketing forms such as cold calling, text blasting, RVMs, etc. You guys have heard about all this stuff, driving for dollars. Listen, Brian goes in depth with all of this stuff. Seller financing, he's updated these modules again, talking about, making offers, the different deal structures, handling objections, which is really, really helpful because when it comes to creative financing and seller financing, there's different objections that come into play as opposed to wholesaling. So for example, one of the main objections you get is, if you're going to take over the payments on somebody's house, what happens when you stop paying? You have to be able to answer these types of questions on the spot. So Brian goes over a whole sheet of different objections that typically come up when you're, bringing this offer up to a seller. So that's seller financing, subject to, same thing. He goes over all that. And then wraparound mortgages. He also has some information in. There's some things that are have been uploaded, some things that he's still uploading, but we have a Google Drive where he pretty much keeps everything. So you don't really have to worry about it. And then he has this $1 million blueprint that I really like, but that's just exclusive to the course. This is basically the course, guys. Like I said, this course has everything in it that you need when it comes to creative financing. I lied to you not. I'm not hyping this up or anything. Brian is the real deal, and he puts a lot of time and effort into this stuff every single week. He's done multiple deals. If you follow him on Instagram, you see it. So I'm not here to give you any fluff. I'm telling you the real deal. So hopefully getting on the inside of the course gives you a good idea of what to expect and, just an overall better idea of, the information that's in the course. So hopefully that was helpful. Honestly, what it comes down to is you got to understand what type of investor this course is for. Honestly, I would say, even Brian says it too, it's not meant for your beginning wholesaler. If you're just getting started in the wholesaling real estate business, then you could probably find some YouTube videos and get a better understanding of that. Even on Brian's channel, he has some wholesaling videos. But this is more for the person who understands wholesaling already and wants to basically take their game to the next level. And after doing wholesaling for a while, you'll realize that most of the opportunities that you come across are not a fit for wholesaling, but that small percentage that are a fit obviously turn into pretty big deals. But for the other big percentage of deals that don't convert for wholesale deals, this course is definitely for. So pretty much this course is for the investor that's looking to create some passive income, the investor that's looking to master creative financing deals in order to stand out from the competition, because we know there's a lot of competition within wholesaling nowadays. Sellers are getting cash offers from a bunch of different people. So you got to find a way to stand out in a very competitive market. And basically this course is for investors who are looking to profit from deals that appear to be dead because they don't fit the wholesale model. The investors that are willing to learn another strategy or another couple strategies in order to, monetize those deals that don't seem to be a fit for wholesale. And honestly, I'm not an expert yet, but I do have a pretty good foundational knowledge of creative financing. So I'll link up above the video that I created called Creative Financing Explained. I'll link it up above and down below so you guys can check that out. Hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what creative financing is if you don't already know. But yeah, guys, the main reason why I decided to join is because, again, I know Brian was really knowledgeable. I know this was a way to stand out from my competition and be able to offer my sellers more options, because if you're able to offer these people who are in pretty bad situations, sometimes they're not in the worst situations, but if you're able to offer them more options, then you'll have a higher chance of converting them into a deal. And another main reason why I joined the course is because I wanted to create passive income. Wholesaling is a job. It's a high-paying job, but it's still a job, because after one deal closes, you got to go get the next deal. When you understand creative financing and how you can basically acquire rental properties by buying properties on subject to or seller financing, you're able to understand that you can build this creative financing, or you can build this rental portfolio, not in a traditional way, not just traditional renters, but with tenant buyers who are people who are actually looking to purchase the property from you, but they'll take a couple years to basically pay you off a certain amount until they're able to cash you out later down the road. So in that meantime, you are building up positive cash flow, and a lot of other benefits that come with it when you actually have tenant buyers in place. So creative financing really is more of a long-term strategy. If you are looking to create passive income, this is one of the best ways in real estate to do it. In my other videos, I've talked about how Brian inspired me to get into it, because he had a job where he was making $120,000 a year, and he did not quit until his real estate income was equivalent or succeeded his job income. So he was making $120,000 a year at his job, and then he didn't quit pretty much until he was making about $10,000 a month from his rental portfolio, which included mainly creative financing deals. So with that being said, guys, I really hope this video was helpful. This course changed the game for me. I'm still working on some creative financing deals myself, but I know this is a long-term plan. So even though I haven't closed on one yet, I know that they are coming. And once I get the ball rolling, and once I close my first deal, I know that I'll get the ball rolling from then on out, and I'll have the momentum to go. So I highly advocate for this course. I know a lot of people have asked me, so here's my answer. Yes, the course is great. It's well worth it. Oh, I didn't tell you guys the price yet. The price is $14.97. Now, I got a deal because I actually joined when he first dropped it, it was $997 when he first dropped it. But I knew I wanted in, so I joined it immediately. Now it's much higher because, he's put more content into it. It's very valuable, and honestly, even at that price, the amount of information and value that you're going to get from it is going to be 100x, because you're going to get the information from Brian, and you're going to be able to apply it to build a huge portfolio that, creative financing is best for in any type of market. So again, I highly advocate for his program. I can't say it enough. I'll do a million testimonials on this course, because it's really helped me out, and it's really broadened my knowledge of real estate. So if you guys are interested, I do have an affiliate link down below. If you are interested, check out my link. I do get a small compensation from that, so I appreciate it if you do use my link. If not, it's all good, but I would appreciate it. But please, guys, understand that you guys stand out from your competition, and learning creative financing is a great way to do that and really build passive income. So again, my affiliate link is down below. If this video was helpful, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next one. If you guys want me to review any more courses that you know of, I've taken, honestly, most of them in the real estate field or real estate investing niche. So if you guys have any that you want me to review, definitely put them down below. Until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay blessed.